Hello and thanks for joining us. We once again have our CC-01 back on the table. The last time you saw this truck, we locked the front diff in it. And I told you the next time you saw it, we would be putting some universals in the front of it. Well, we have our universals now, so that's what we're going to do. We got universals from Yeah Racing. It's their steel alloy universal shafts for the CC-01. Their part number is CC-01-015BK. And this is what they look like. Nice little heavy duty units here. The reason why we're upgrading is I'm running into a problem with my CC-01. Take the body off here. The problem is that whenever I've added so much turning to this truck with the Alien Tech steering kit and by modifying the C-hubs, you can check that out in the build video, went over it there, that whenever the wheels turn, I'm getting so much turn that the dog bones themselves are coming out of the drive cups whenever the suspension compresses. And whenever it starts turning, the pins are coming out. So that's the problem there. I mean, good thing we're getting all that steering. The bad thing is the dog bones just can't handle it. So that's why we're swapping out to a set of universals. I mean, the added strength will be good too, but mainly we're doing it for the added turning ability. Because a poor point on the CC-01s from the factory is the turning, and that's what we've been trying to fix on this truck. And with locking the front diff, you lose a little bit of that turning, but with all the other steering mods, it's not that noticeable. Now, to change these out, this is a real easy job to do. You can do it real quick, even with simple basic tools like, say, for example, a Tamiya wheel wrench and a basic Phillips screwdriver. That's all you need to do this job. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by taking off a tire. Okay, after we get the tire out of the way, we're going to take this screw right here out. Now I have a washer between this upper link mount and the hub. I'm using as a spacer just because there was a little bit of play there from the factory that I did not like. Just if you've done that yourself, make sure you remember to put that back in whenever you reassemble it. Okay, there we go. Now that's the hub swing down the way, and you can pull the dog bone out like so. Okay, so now we're going to have to take out these screws right here, the top one and the bottom one, to allow us to pull the hub away so that we can slide the drive cup out of the hub. There we go. And right here you can see where I was talking about modifying the C-hubs, where I ground down the steering stop during assembly. Okay, now that we've got this loose and round, we're going to go ahead and remove the hex assembly, the wheel hex here. Sometimes they'll just pull right off. Sometimes you might have to get a little flathead screwdriver and put behind it and kind of force it down. There we go. Now be warned, this little roll pin will fall out. Make sure you don't lose it. Make sure you're on a surface where it won't bounce away. Then just push this out. And there you go. There's the stock drive cup. Just going to go ahead and set it aside. Now this will be a good time cleaning dirt and grime out of the inside of the hub while you got it apart. So we're good doing here real quick. And now we're going to take our Yeah Racing Universal and just drop it down here into the hub. Like so. I'm going to go ahead and place my roll pin back in it. And place my hex back on. You could wait and do this once you get it all back together, but I find this helps hold everything together. And we're just going to slide this back through here, back through your C-hub. You may have to turn your wheel just a little bit to get the clearance you need. And then you're going to slide it right into the drive cup in the diff. Turn it here so maybe you can see that. And then once you have it in there, once you have it through the C-hub, you can go ahead and bolt your knuckle back into your C-hub. Once we have those in place, we will just take the end of the universal, slide it into the drive cup on the diff, and then we just got to go and reattach this upper link. It's linked right here. So put a screw through the link. Oops, I need to find my washer. There it is. I gotta make sure I put this washer back on, like I said, I'm using it as a spacer. And then just screw that back into the C-hub. Once that's tight, the only thing left to do then is put on the tire. So we'll drop it onto the hex. Reattach the stock wheel nut. Tighten it down. And there we go. Universal is completely installed on that side. Here we have a little side-by-side comparison of the pieces. As you can tell, they're very, very similar. Yeah, Racing did a good job of replicating the CC-01 part. Just gave it a better swivel in the middle than the factory piece. And here's where the problem was coming from out of the factory piece. Whenever the wheels would turn and the CVD or the dog bone was turning, see how the nub right there is coming up out? As it turned, it'd come out of the cup and then it wouldn't go back in. It'd end up like this and pop out. And end up jamming up the drive line, jamming up the wheel and binding, causing all kinds of problems. It wouldn't always just line back up whenever it turned the wheel enough to come out. Especially if the wheel got hung up on anything and didn't turn at the same speed as the dog bone was turning. Just that little bit's all it took. The racing piece, by being a universal, see, it takes care of that problem. It stays together while it's turned like that. There's no flopping, pulling in and out. Okay, so now what I have left to do is I got to swap this into the other side, and then we'll be done. It's doing it just like the side it did. The same steps and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Oh, there we have it. We have the racing universals installed. That was a quick, easy job. Took maybe 15 minutes. And the best part is it can be done with basic hand tools. The upside is there's no need for any kind of modification. They drop right into the stock hubs, into the stock bearings that's there, and bolt right up. So far with Racing, I've had great luck with all their products just dropping right in. If you have a CC-01, I highly recommend you get a set of universals. So take a look at the Racing ones. They're leaps and bounds better than the dog bones. Especially if you modify the steering, the dog bones will, in the end, end up leaving you stranded and carrying your truck back to the car, and you don't want to do that. So I highly recommend this upgrade. Real easy to do. Next thing to do with this truck is we're just going to take it out and hit the trails and have a little bit of fun with it. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below. Feel free to hit that like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and follow us there. We post a lot of stuff there, so make sure you check that out. And until next time, happy RCing.